Police! Got a warrant, mate.
A couple of months ago, an address was visited in the Bacup area, which is obviously East Lancashire, completely unrelated to what we were doing, but there was a lad there at the address who was from Bradford, with a woman who they were unconnected, said they were related, didn't seem to add up, and he was quite a vulnerable male from the Bradford area. So that's what started it off, and then from there we looked at bits of telephone data. He was then stopped again a couple of weeks later in possession of Class A drugs, and the investigation unfolded from there and thereon in terms of different interceptions on different people working on the drugs line, which I said was quite key, that the drugs line sits in Bradford, doesn't move from Bradford, but its whole customer base is East Lancashire. Generally speaking, it obviously can be any age across numerous operations, but across this one, anything between 15 and 18. So the last interaction, one of the interactions we put in with the group was we've stopped a car and there was a young male on board who was resident in a care home in the Leeds area, and he was stopped, searched and found to have drugs within himself, which is the crude, horrible reality around this, around a 15-year-old male travelling across counties with drugs, inserted in himself, which is completely, beyond horrible, isn't it? So that's the problem. You've got the county line element, but these county lines will then exploit young people, and on this occasion, children. It's often young boys, 15, 16, 17, 18, that are being used to do all the drugs running, take all the risk, really, in terms of they're carrying the drugs, they're supplying the drugs, they're carrying the risk of people they're meeting day in, day out and supplying to. The other kind of issue is obviously other gangs. So when you've got a drugs line working from Yorkshire into Lancashire, you can imagine that friction it caused with Lancashire's own drugs lines and people from other counties, other territories coming in, and that's a different option. It causes a lot of violence between different groups. But in terms of the ages 15 to 18 on a regular basis that are being exploited by drugs lines.